All right, here we go. I'm going to do this all in one take. That wasn't really a pun, but okay, one take. Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and today we're going to be talking about Transformers 1. The movie has finally released, or at least a lot of people have seen it. I know that people have seen it months prior, because they had these super early screenings. And yeah, I finally got to see it, so I'm here to talk about it. First of all, I want to acknowledge that, yes, I am a Transformers fan, and you're probably thinking, oh, I'm going to be super biased towards this film because, well, Transformers, and to that I say, I'm gonna try not to be, but there's no promises. I mean, I am a big Transformers fan, so I'm gonna favor this movie a lot more than certain other people, but, you know, I still watch other movies, so I can still pick apart this, and I gotta say that this movie is a lot of fun. It's a joy. One of the things I absolutely love about this Transformers film that I felt like was being neglected throughout a lot of other Transformers films was it's about the characters in particular. It's taking the Cybertronians and the robots and not just making them murder machines. It's taking them as a civilization, as a people. So I really appreciate actually watching them interact and talk and you know, just be normal people. Not even necessarily when they're at battle or at wit's ends or they're fighting against each other in some sort of discussion or just getting angry, killing each other. No, just talking. You know, that's still fun. And I think the voice cast is amazing. I know there was a lot of people hesitant about Chris Hemsworth being Optimus Prime or Orion Pax, and I gotta say that it's no issue here. I really do like it. Also, another thing that I want to acknowledge is the first trailer, when a lot of people saw it, they thought, oh, that's just gonna be some kind of corny, like comedy film, and, you know, there's comedy in this. It's kind of witty, but it's not as much as you might think from that first initial trailer, thank goodness. Another thing that I want to acknowledge is that IGN, I'm going to be rambling a lot on this, IGN had said that this was a 5 out of 10, and they also said that it's more boring than Madam Web. I just want to say, I don't know where they're getting that from. It is nowhere near as boring as that. The one thing that they did point out that I saw that I will kind of agree with, but not necessarily, is they said that some of the scenes were kind of a blur to see who's fighting who. And I will say that when some of these trooper guys are going against the Seekers, that's the one that looks like Starscream and you know, some of the other characters, when they're going at each other, it does tend to blur sometimes, but I don't really think that's a fault of the movie necessarily. I think if you're going to take any other design, it's going to look like that regardless. One thing that I do love is just watching how this civilization kind of developed over the past however years leading up to this point, and just how Cybertron exists. There's buildings that are upside down that are from the top surface of Cybertron. There's actual vegetation on Cybertron growing from it, and it's just nice to see exactly what Cybertron was at the Golden Age. I thought Orion Pax was cool. I thought D-16 was awesome, especially when he's early on and he's just kind of this normal guy. I think it was fine. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this movie, like a lot. Some that you might even miss. I noticed a lot of names on the leaderboard in the race scene. I don't think that's a spoiler because they showed the clip, but there's a lot more than just that, and it's awesome to see. There's some references that are just casual in the conversations that they have. That's kind of fun too. It's nice to see what they exactly sneak in there. One of the things that I will complain about is I feel like some of the pacing was a little bit rushed at times. Sometimes it's fine and you're just kind of relaxing, but then sometimes certain scenes are just super rushed. Especially when you're trying to develop some of the characters like D-16 going into a darker place. Sometimes it just kind of happens at a turn. You get why he's angry, but sometimes it feels like it just needs more discussion rather than just kind of showing. I know show don't tell, but sometimes it's nice to really hear some back and forth between the two characters, especially Orion and D-16. And I don't feel like we get enough of that when D-16 is starting to turn. So I would like to see a little more of that, but I think with the context clues and you knowing exactly who they're going to become, I think it's fine. One thing that I'll say is that the score is from the same guy who did the score for Transformers Prime, and you pick that up in a couple of scenes. I was like, wow, they put that in there. So that was pretty cool. I don't want to talk too much about spoilers, but that's like the one thing I'll say. Yeah, again, a lot of cameos, a lot of cool characters. A couple of twists in there that I didn't really see coming. I mean, I saw where they were going for, and I kind of knew what was going to happen, but there were a couple of times where I'm like, wow, they actually did that. Another cool thing is that Transformers has a 40-year history. Like, it's got so much developed into it, and they take so many different things from the 40 years to develop this movie. The backstory is a lot different than we've seen for a lot of different Transformers stories. Like, Orion Pax is not a data clerk, D-16 is still a minor, but Orion Pax is now a minor as well, and that's how they kind of meet up. But there are certain elements that are taken, and there's certain elements that they kind of do a nice twist on, so it feels very refreshing in that way. And so when IGN says that this movie is boring, I just cannot agree with that, because I'm seeing so many things that they're trying to change up and trying to refresh. But there are a couple of things that I do agree with, but not to the extent of what they were even saying, because I still think that this movie is good despite its flaws. And I'm very happy to finally see a Cybertronian film, not just on the fact that I'm a Transformers fan, but I've been wanting to see Transformers as characters, as civilizations, and not just people who murder each other, and that's what we're getting here, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, just a fantastic film. I know that some people were hesitant on it, but I think you should give it a chance because you might be surprised with it. Don't let that first trailer fool you. If you didn't like that, it's really good. I really enjoyed myself with the movie. I can't really give a rating. I'm not good with ratings, but yeah, as an animated film, it's gorgeous. I love seeing Cybertron and how they developed a lot of the characters and just some of the rooms and whatnot that you see. I thought that was pretty cool. And, as a kid's movie, it's perfectly fine. So, yeah, I definitely recommend seeing it. So with that out of the way, I thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun dudes. And hopefully we see more from this universe that is definitely not tied to the Michael Bay movies. I could tell you that. I mean, there's no way. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.